Hello friends, it's Dave here from SaveDex.
And I'm Sophie.
And we're doing this Q&A video as a celebration on passing 1,500 subscribers.
Oh.
So thank you so much for that. We put up a post asking for your questions, what you want to know from us. So we've gathered the questions together and we're going to go through and answer them. Sound good?
Sounds good to me.
So first load of questions here. Thank you so much to people that put out these questions, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
I was kind of worried that no one would put out any questions, then we'd look like idiots, but oh well. So, Flower Angel Rave is first, saying, well done on getting 1,500, that is awesome, here are your questions. What video did we enjoy making out of all the ones on our channel?
So I think we both really enjoyed making the Waluigi one because it was like months in advance where we were coming up with 21 reasons why Waluigi is the best.
Yeah, it was a fun one, that, because I was going to do it before, like back in January, but then when I realised it was going to be 21 years that July, I was like, and then we managed to get a bunch of people on board to give a happy birthday message to Waluigi, and the reasons were just so stupid as well, some of them. And also there's some of the discussion videos as well, whether it's with another channel or just us two. Like there was a review we did recently.
Oh yes, like the web review. Yeah,
discussion videos are really good to do because you can just bounce ideas off each other rather than just following a strict script. It makes it a bit more organic that way.
For sure.
But obviously the scripted stuff has obviously have their place as well. And speaking of, the next question was, what do you feel has contributed the most to the growth of the channel?
I feel like it's a combination of streams and then like the games we've covered. It's just covered indie games, but which we love. We absolutely love indie games. But we've covered like old games that we really love, and we've streamed games like our Crash streams. We loved doing those. Mainly Dave playing them, but we did them all in one go, didn't we? Yeah,
definitely. Because I find, especially with the streams that you've pointed out, was key because that's how we sort of got to know our audience, because we got to talk directly, and not just the audience that watch us, but also the other YouTube channels as well that we have collaborated with. It was through the streams that we really started to, you know, we watched their streams, they watched ours. That's how we really started to get to know each other, and we all helped each other out. And yeah, definitely. And then
we've developed in-jokes with you all.
Yeah, and that sort of gave us momentum to carry on. And also, you mentioned the indie games as well. Covering games that not many other people are doing helped get us noticed as well. So that's a good question, that. But there's quite a lot of answers for it.
Yeah.
So next question was, what is your earliest gaming memory?
I actually, if I close my eyes and think about it, my earliest gaming memory is playing Sonic, which is hilarious. But I can't really remember where I was or what it was. I just remember the vibrant colours on the screen. That is what I remember.
Is that the Mega Drive one?
I have no idea. I was so young that I can't remember.
That is your earliest memory then, if you can't remember? That is the earliest memory,
but I just remember thinking, bloomin' heck, these, I mean, obviously I was a child, I didn't say bloomin' heck, but you know, wow, these colours, and they were just so, it was like having sweeties in your eyes.
So for me, it was my dad had this like home computer, and there was sort of like home versions of like Pac-Man and Space Invaders and like a horse racing thing, you know, obviously primitive stuff, but you know, back then there was just all these games. I think that was the first gaming memory I have. It was predated Mario, Super Mario Brothers on the NES. It predates that for me, so yeah. What other hobbies do we like to do in our spare time?
So I like to crochet. I think everyone knows about that.
So really, the bulk of my hobbies is gaming and YouTube.
Oh yeah,
really.
But that's a big one, isn't it?
But because the question says other, I'm like,
other.
What to do? I mean, you've got your crochet. I mean, we like to watch films as well. Go to cinema. We watch wrestling as well.
Oh yes,
that's
of
another
course.
thing if that counts as a hobby. But I count it, even though I don't partake in it myself. But yeah, it's just very, very media focused, I'd say I am. And you're very crafty.
I mean, yeah, I like media stuff as well, but yeah, I really like crafty stuff. And I like coming up with ideas, and Dave helps me with them as well.
And also, I like making lists.
Yes, you do.
Like, you see me do my ranked videos, my top 10, that's not even 10% of the lists I've created, even if I'm not intending to make a video on it. So, what is one of the funniest moments in gaming that we've had? Okay, so for me, there's all the in-jokes you build up with like friends and family over the years. They sort of, become funny and funny over time. Like I said, my dad always saying, I pressed A, wouldn't bloody jump, and we carry that over.
Yeah.
But really, when it comes to a one particular moment, and it's really as a you had to be there moment, I was playing Mario Kart Double Dash with a friend, and we used to co-op on it as Bowser and Donkey Kong because we were at the front a lot of the time and their special items come up at the front, like the giant banana and Bowser shell. And I just remember there was this one moment when the person who's on the back of the cart, if you've got no items, can press L and R to barge left and right. And he was playing as Bowser on the back of the cart.
Yeah.
And Diddy Kong and Bowser Jr. were a pair, in their tiny cart. And I just remember it was late at night, so we were both really tired and been playing a lot of this game.
Yeah.
And at this moment they went to overtake us, he just suddenly pressed the R button, and it's just to see their children basically going past, and Bowser just suddenly goes rah at them and knocks them off the stage, and we had to pause it. We were laughing so hard and just in tears, and you had to be there. But that is the moment that's made me laugh the most while gaming.
I think the funniest gaming moments for me is any time I've played Mario Party and I've had a rivalry with Donkey Kong and Boo. It's just makes me laugh every time. Yeah, just the AI do some weird things, don't they? And the last question from Flower is, what is one game you would recommend to someone who is entirely new to gaming as a whole? I mean, I'd say Crash games, because I started with that. Most probably Crash 3, because it's so memorable to me.
Yeah, I mean, some games it's like, do you go for an easy game or do you go for a game that's just easy to get into? Like some of the old Sonic games, you only have one button for that, so that's easy for someone to pick up and play, even though it's not a difficult game. I hear the Dark Souls games are pretty easy, so you could do that. But, stuff like if they want a platformer, something like Kirby would be good, or we could go for something like Animal Crossing, that's not too daunting.
Or Yoshi.
Or the Yoshi games, or Kirby's Epic Yarn as well. The Lego games.
Yes.
There's some, some puzzle solving as well.
And
they're
fun as well.
It doesn't matter if you die, so
exactly.
They're kind of easy to get into. So it's quite a lot you could choose, really.
Yeah.
So thank you very much, Flower, for those questions. We're moving on to Water Music 34. Congrats, Dave and Sophie, some of the nicest people on the internet. God bless the two. God bless you two, and may you have even more subs in the future. People and sandwiches both.
Yes.
I love it. Thank you for being our moderator on our streams as well.
Much.
So if we could change the ending to a game or two, which ones and why? I'm going to choose one, not two. And my one is Super Mario Sunshine. So at the end of that game, Mario and Flood fall from the sky with Bowser and all that. And then Flood is destroyed, says Mario was of assistance, and then dies. And then they do sort of the credits. Then it comes back and it shows the Toads have fixed Flood, and Flood says the vacation starts now. I would change that so that Flood doesn't get repaired and just dies, because Flood is annoying. Okay. That's mine.
Okay. That's a really hard question, because all the endings the games I've completed I liked, and there's often games that I don't want to end. Like I loved Rogue Heroes, Ruins of Tassos. I didn't want that to end. I wanted that to just be ongoing. And because it's a roguelite, I just thought you could have continuous battlings and continuous upgrades, but it doesn't work like that.
Endless mode.
Yeah.
Yes.
I loved Yokai Watch's ending. I love Sims Busting Out. You know how much I love Sims Busting Out. That ending was just absolutely fantabulous. So that's a hard question for me. Okay. I've got no answer.
That's a good question though. If it's hard to answer, it's a good question. So the next one comes from Zweevbull. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. So first question is, what made you start YouTube?
Dave.
Yeah, I made you start YouTube.
Yeah.
That's true. You gave me. So for me, I've been into YouTube since like 2006, 2007, when I was following people who I will mention in one of your future questions, because I see you've asked one. But I never really had the motivation or the know-how in how to start a channel. And then I gave it a few attempts on some other channels, like uploading videos, just me talking to a camera a few times, just as like a diary. But I never really made a serious go of it. But then a few years ago, my close friend Glenn, who started a channel called Switch Up with his friend, and they became really successful with it. And then I just thought, you know what? If they can do it, I'll give it a proper go. And I was at the time really into listening to discussion videos from like Game Explain, Nintendo Life, and I wanted to join in with their discussions, like I'm sure a lot of listeners do with podcast style things, and I thought, just do it myself. There we go. What is your biggest challenge in starting a YouTube account?
Just actually getting all the equipment together.
Yes, we did have some help in starting it up and device and stuff, but yeah, finding the right equipment was key to it.
Yeah, so initially we had got the capture card and we tried to use it on my laptop, which was new at the time, but the graphics card was just absolute trash and it didn't work on it, and we absolutely needed a new laptop.
Yeah, which I bought.
Which we bought. Which, it's not the best laptop because, we've had our issues with it.
But it's still running.
Still running.
So there's that. And also when it comes to sort of getting noticed as well, but it comes with time, isn't it?
Yeah.
What is your favourite franchise and what do you think it needs to improve, if anything?
Yokai Watch and localization to the Switch.
Yes, so...
I don't know how they're going to do it, but, they should.
Because I hear Yokai Watch 4 is out in Japan.
Yeah.
And the first one got ported to Switch.
Yes.
And why is that not happening outside of Japan?
I don't know. And I wish it was, I wish it was.
So my favourite franchise overall is probably Mario. Mm-hmm. And I really can't think of a way to improve it because Mario does a lot of things.
Yeah. Another one's Zelda. I don't think there's another way to improve it.
Zelda's just so strong a franchise.
It's deliciously good.
Yeah. So they're my two favourite franchises.
Good.
My third favourite franchise is Sonic, and there's quite a lot of ways to improve that franchise.
Yeah. Animal Crossing, just keep it coming.
There are. Yeah, so he did say if any, so I can't really think of anything.
Kirby, they're already doing something amazing.
Yeah. So the next question is the one I mentioned earlier. Who are your favourite YouTubers? So when I said I got into YouTube back 2006, 2007, my favourite YouTubers that have stayed since around that time are Cinemassacre, who have like James Rolfe, the Angry Video Game Nerd, not just the AVGN series, but also him as a person reviewing movies and doing the James and Mike Mondays he used to do. Mm-hmm. There's also Channel Awesome, who's nostalgia critic Doug Walker, not just those videos but him as a person reviewing movies as well. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to Nintendo gaming ones, it's gotta be Nathaniel Bandy and Ant Dude.
One of my favourite ones to watch is Clay Claim, where they make little models from games basically. Out of clay. And then also Mature Warning, but I really like Tom Cardy's music. And also Ashens.
Yeah, Ashens is one joint we like to watch together, really, isn't it? Yeah. Thank you for that question. I'm glad someone asked that, actually. And also I will point out that I was on purposely not mentioning any YouTubers that we know personally. Because I didn't want to play favourites.
Also, because they're all our favourites.
Yeah, so I wasn't going to mention people we know personally there.
Yeah.
Okay, and then if there was a year in gaming you could go back to and relive, which would it be and why? Bearing in mind which games you'd have to wait to come out if you did go back.
Oh, man.
So I'm going to take this as in if I could go back to that year of those games I played that year, would I be allowed to play games that were already out that year, like from the year before? Because if I could go back to a year with the mindset I had of that year, it would be 1998.
Nice.
Because we bought our N64 New Year's Eve 1997, got Mario 64, but in that year I experienced Mario 64, I've experienced Diddy Kong Racing, GoldenEye for the first time, Mario Kart 64, even though they came out the year before. Those were the years I experienced them. Then there was that wait and anticipation for Banjo-Kazooie and Ocarina of Time at the end of the year.
Nice.
And yeah, that for me, that's nostalgically one of the strongest gaming moments for me.
I'd have to say, go back to, when we had our PlayStation 1, which I can't remember. I must have been like 5 or 6.
It's about 98
Yeah.
again. The same
And
year.
then, so going on the same strain as you, as like when I had availability to those games. And we had Spice Girls.
Oh yeah.
we had Barbie Super Sports. We had Casper the Friendly Ghost. We had Tomb Raider, and we of course had Crash 3. And they were just our time. Our spare time was playing. That was me and my sisters playing these games, and my mum as well. My mum enjoyed playing them with us too. She loved the Casper game for sure.
Yeah, so thank you very much for those questions. So next is from Tom Man Centuria. Says no question, but lots of congratulations on the milestone. And then says, ooh, actually, since YouTube keeps recommending cheap capture card videos to me, no wonder why, what card do you use to stream or add game footage? And is your laptop high spec? Congrats again. So I don't think our laptop is high spec.
No.
It probably was at the time, but...
So basically on the capture card it tells you like recommended, like, I don't know, specs, I guess.
Yeah.
And what we did was just Google that, and then it came up with laptops.
Yeah, and
then I happened to have a discount at the time on this particular laptop.
Yeah, so we use an Elgato capture card,
Yes.
HD60. Is I would say as well, because they're saying recommending cheap, don't go for a cheap one,
No.
because if you are planning to do this, but I always say, because I've learnt this the hard way over the years with technology, if you get what you pay for. If you're gonna buy for the cheaper options, you're gonna get lower quality stuff. So
Sure.
yeah, just you might be saving money in the short term, but in the long term you'll have to replace them quite quickly. So yeah. So thank you very much for that question.
Thank you, Tom.
So next one is Grinning Wolf Games. Asdin says, well done, Dave and Sophie.
Thanks, Asden. You too.
Yeah, that's not a question, but okay. The Indie Gaming Guild is Jeffrey. Hello, Jeffrey.
G-Dog.
He says, congrats. So what's a hidden talent or hobby that you each have?
Okay, I can hula hoop.
Nice. I can't. So that is a talent.
That's that.
So my hidden talent, I've actually never actually revealed this to anyone.
Yeah.
Not even you.
Go on then.
I can actually beat Cuphead. That is my hidden talent.
Okay.
There we go. Thank you very much for those questions. Next is Ambience, who says congratulations and sorry you're late. You're not too late, don't worry. Here's your questions. What game, in our opinion, has the best story?
Twilight Princess.
Yeah, I'd be inclined to go towards the Zelda game, maybe Skyward Sword, but then I do really like Sonic Adventure 2 as well. That one's pretty cool. Second question, we've already answered about how we got into YouTube. And third one, sorry if it's a bit personal, how did we two meet each other?
Dave and I were at the same party of a mutual friend, and Dave walked into the room and he asked me to draw a rabbit on his hand after I'd drawn a moustache on his finger.
And from then on...
And then we talked over summer, and then the rest is history.
And then a few years later we got married.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Cool, thank you very much for your question.
Thank you.
Next is Chef Uwu. Hello, Chef Uwu. Your questions are, what do you like about making a video for the channel, and what makes you want to upload videos again?
I like to think that we make people laugh sometimes. Not all the time, I know. But I like to do it for the lols.
Yeah, for me, it was a question of just getting my message out there. I say message, but my thoughts out there, I should say.
Oh, nice.
Like, if I have thoughts on my mind, kind of like a diary, like a discuss, because I like listening to other people's, and I would like to contribute to society in that way.
Oh, that's fun.
So.
Oh no, I suppose I really do like doing the reviews of the games that I really enjoyed, and the ones that I've not enjoyed so much. I don't know. Probably not.
But yeah, I mean, I do enjoy doing the streams a lot as well, and just chatting to people. It just, just the whole interaction with people, and just seeing how well your video's done when you've uploaded one, the comments you get. It's always great to see. It gives you that drive to carry on, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So the next question is from my brother, Stephen. What 3 games would you like to see a sequel for on the Switch?
Yokai Watch. Oh, Simpsons Hit and Run.
Nice.
Chicory. I'd love another one of those. Oh my gosh. That game was chef's kiss.
Yes, those are your 3?
Yes.
My 3 would be probably predictable, but Banjo-Kazooie. I'd like to see a proper Banjo 3E made properly on Switch. I'd like to see a sequel to Mystical Ninja, the 3D one on the N64. That franchise is long dormant. And why not Sonic Mania 2? Let's see that on the Switch. Come on, guys. Okay, next is from Ollie. Hello, Ollie. Says, woohoo. My question is, what one game would you absolutely love to play on the channel?
Oh, okay. I'd love to play Sims Busting Out. I think it would be hilarious. But the GBA version.
Yeah, that is a good question, because obviously one game for a start, but we'd absolutely love to play on the channel. Now it's like, well, any game we would love to, we can. So I'm going to think of, you said a GBA game, which we can't play on the channel because we don't have the means. So
there's so many DS games I would choose as well. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'd like to think of a 3DS game, or maybe a Dreamcast game now we've got that. Or PS2. Thing is, I would have said GoldenEye before I got that adapter, but now that is possible. So I'm going to say Link Between Worlds. I'd love to play Link Between Worlds on the channel. So
that's a really good show, yeah.
So if you guys wouldn't mind me just having like my phone filming the 3DS screen, I could stream that.
Same with the GBA one, but I need to find the charger, to be honest.
Sunset Arkham says, congratulations on reaching 1,500 subscribers. Only 500 more until 2,000. I still have a long way to go. Yes, and when we reach 2,000, we will do another pizza party.
Pizza party!
So make sure you tell your friends about us, and you keep on going.
Yeah,
you will get there. Just keep on going. Tom, TC Gaming, says, how did you get into YouTube, and why did you decide to create your channel?
Go on, Dave.
Well, so we sort of brushed up on that earlier. So, yeah, I first discovered YouTube properly during the time before the Wii came out, and so people were talking about the Power Glove, because that was Nintendo doing motion controls before, and I said, what's the Power Glove? And someone says, oh, just see this, and he sent me a link to the Angry Video Game Nerds video on the Power Glove.
Yeah.
So that was my discovery of AVGN.
Nice.
And also my discovery of YouTube as a thing people made actual proper videos on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was how I got into YouTube.
Oh, you'd like to know what my first YouTube experience was? You know Tenacious D?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that song.
Tribute?
The greatest, tribute. The greatest song of all time.
Then, yeah.
Tribute.
Nice. And
I watched that over and over again when I discovered that. And obviously YouTube.
Nice. And why we decided to create a channel, we did answer that one earlier. So thank you very much for your question. And the final question is from George Moss. Hello, George. And I'm glad someone asked this.
Yeah.
Why are we called Save Decks?
That gets asked a lot.
Yes.
So we've combined our names for Sophie, Dave, and Declan, who was also part of this channel when it first started.
Yeah, and when I mentioned earlier about having help with setting up the channel, Declan, he was one who, obviously Glenn gave me advice, but Declan sort of showed us the right tools.
Yeah, he's very technological. Yeah. I can't even say it.
Technological.
Very technological.
Yeah, so when coming up with a name, it was like Sophie Dave combines to save, and then Dex is Declan, but also save is something you do with gaming,
and Dex is like, Pokédex.
And Declan is the Pokemon nerd of the three of us.
Of course.
But a few months after we started the channel, we kind of lost touch with Declan. We didn't fall out or anything, but it just sort of it happens, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so, but if Declan ever wanted to rejoin the channel, doors open always. Be glad to have him back. But so Declan, if you're watching us, get in touch. Cool. Brilliant. So thank you so much for your questions, and thank you for helping us past 1,500. Again, we get to 2,000, we're having another pizza party.
100%.
Look forward to that. So make sure you hit that subscribe if you haven't already. And thank you so much for watching this. And we'll do another Q&A at 3,000.
Thank you.
Cool. We'll see you in the next one.